Shanti and welcome to my first little vlog. I live here on the beautiful north coast of Australia with my husband and our 4 children. I am a knitter, a spinner, a sewer. I like to dye yarn, so I thought that I would start doing a little vlog to document everything that I'm making at the moment, things that I have in the works, and just my crafty little life. So if you're into any of those things, grab a cup of tea and come and hang out with me for a little while I ramble. I might just jump straight into it though, but what's on my needles at the moment is kind of minimal. I've just finished studying for the year, so I haven't had a whole lot of time this last 12 months to really do a whole lot and to sit and relax without feeling overly guilty. So I don't have a lot. I have managed to finish a few things over the last year, but not a lot. The first thing that I have just come off my needles is this little slipper. I love them, they're so gorgeous. These are the Lars Data slippers, I think from memory, by Scandiwork. These I've made in pure wool. So I'm hoping that the bottom does felt up and be a little bit more durable. And there is a Latvian braid that goes around the opening, I'm pretty sure, so I need to do that as well. But these knit up so quickly and they're just super fun to make. They're knit flat and then they're sewn up along the edges. This is the size small and I am a size 7.5 foot. So yeah, there's those ones and they're just super fun. I did get a book for my birthday this year with a few other patterns like these, and they did have some children's patterns in it as well. So I'm hoping that I can get 4 more pairs of these done and they will go into my kids' Easter baskets for next year. But I need to finish the second one of these for myself first. So that is one thing that's come off my needles. The other thing that I'm working on at the moment is this sweater. This one is the Dog Star sweater. It is by Tin Can Knits, and I think this is the 3rd Tin Can Knits sweater that I've made, and also one of their scarves. And I just love their patterns. They're so easy to follow. They're really detailed and they're just, if you love color work, yeah, you should definitely check them out. I'm up to the color work on the yoke, so hopefully this one will be finished very soon. We're going to Melbourne soon and the forecast down there is still looking pretty chilly. Unlike here, we're into November now and we've had some 30-degree days, so we're well into the warm weather. We don't have a lot of time here to really wear our wool, which kind of sucks, but we make the most of it. But it's definitely not wool season right now, so I'm hoping that I can get this finished before we go to Melbourne and he can wear that and doesn't have to wait until next winter. He can get a little bit of wear out of it before then. This one is a bottom up sweater, so the sleeves are knit and then attached to the body as you go up. I don't like bottom up sweaters. I'm more of a top down girl, but I love this sweater and I love my husband, so here we are. We're making the sweater, and I'm using the BENDIGO Woolen Mills rustic yarn for this one. I have from memory, I think this is Granite and Mystic, I think, but they have discontinued this line of yarn. which is such a shame because it's gorgeous. It's a really, really beautiful line. They did have a lot of really nice colors. It washes well, it works up well, it's 100% wool, but it's still soft enough to wear against the skin. I've made myself some garments in this line as well. So it was such a shame when they discontinued it. They did bring out another line after they discontinued that, which was fairly similar. I'm not sure if they still have it anymore. I haven't been on their website for a little while. I've been holding off buying any more yarn. But I do have some of the other line that they brought out here, which I will show you in a minute. So yes, this one is almost finished, and yeah, I can't wait to get that one off the needles. So the Dog Star by Tin Can Knits. And that's all that I have at the moment for on my needles, which is not a lot, but I'm going to change that. So I have in my Bendigo bag, if you are a knitter or a crocheter or a crafter in Australia and you haven't looked at Bendigo woolen mills, I think you definitely should. They do have fleece for spinning as well, and yeah, all of their yarn and fleece is 100% Australian wool, which I love. But this one is mosaic. This is the mosaic line that they brought out. I'm not sure if they still have it. As I said, I haven't been on there for a while. This is winter green and this is biscuit, falling apart. But I bought this one to knit myself a sweater in. I bought a bunch of the green, and the cream is for the contrast color work. I don't have anything in mind really yet. There's a few sweaters that I do like, but I am super indecisive. I can't make my mind up about anything, so I haven't cast this on yet. If you can think of any sweaters that you've seen that you might think that would work well with this, please let me know, because I would like to cast this on over the Christmas break. I'm thinking maybe a festive inspired sweater, maybe, which doesn't work quite well when our winter is in the middle of the year, but if it's a little bit subtle, I think it could work. So that is in that bag, waiting to be turned into something. And then I have this yarn. This one is from Spotlight. This is the pure wool. I'm not quite sure what color this one is. I've taken these off. And this is their fake mohair. This is a definitely more khaki in real life, khaki green, but it doesn't want to show up. But I'm planning on making a tulip sweater for my just turned 4-year-old. So that's what I'm going to be making with this. I have made myself one. The tulip sweater is by B Mandarins on Instagram, and she has some beautiful designs. She also has a vlog if you wanted to go check that out. But I have made myself a tulip sweater, and it's such a fun make. It has a little scalloped edge, and it knits up really quick. Yeah, so my 4-year-old also likes to match with me, so I will be making her some little dresses and some more sweaters and cardigans for the winter. She's outgrown all of her sweaters from this season, and her father has put some in the wash and felted them, which, if you're a knitter, you know the pain. So she's fresh out of sweaters that fit her. So I'm getting cracking on some for her now, so she has a bit of a stash come the cooler months. So yeah, I think that I might actually cast that on tonight, I think. So that is the other thing that I have on my to knit. And I have one more thing I did a little bit of dyeing this week because we've had warm, windy weather, so it's been really good to not just for washing but also to be drying yarn. So I dyed up this one. This is the BENDIGO Woolen Mill sock yarn, and it is super soft. I've knit myself a shawl scarf out of this one, and it's super soft. I used the landscape dyes to dye these as well. So this one I dyed. I'm going to get knitting on this soon as well for a Christmas present. It's, I think, the 18th of November now, so again I'm leaving everything to the last minute. And this one as well, I'm not a bright yarn kind of a person, but I did purchase this pattern, the Shorty Sock Pattern Set, Summerly Designs Co, and I thought that that would be really cute for some frilly little socks to wear with my clogs. Yeah, and as I said, we are going to Melbourne soon, so that would be super good to just pop into a project bag and to knit on while we are driving. So it's about an 8-hour trip there, 8 hours back. So yeah, hoping I can get at least one sock knit up on that trip. Yeah, so this was also the landscape dyes. I think that I got them from Craft Parlour. Craft Parlour, so there are a few places in Australia that sell them. I feel like Tandy may sell them as well, but yeah, if you just Google, Fibre Arts Shed I think sell them as well. Don't quote me on any of that. It's been a while since I've been looking for things. I've been stopping myself from even looking because I know that I'm going to want to buy things. So yes, landscape dyes, and this is also the BENDIGO sock yarn. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. The other thing that I have in my to-do pile is my to spin basket. So this is my basket of fibre that I'm wanting to spin. I have so much upstairs, and so I kind of put this downstairs next to my spinning wheel, so when I do have 5 minutes I can sit down and just kind of pick it up and go. I've just finished spinning these 2 bobbins. This is Morit, and I think this is Corriedale. I'm pretty sure it's Corriedale. I threw out the packaging, but these fibres are both from Fibre Arts Shed. They are a little mill, semi-local to us. They are on the Central Coast. Yeah, so they process fibre there. They're a little family-run business. They have beautiful fibres, and the yarn that they produce is absolutely gorgeous. If you like rustic yarn, definitely check them out. So these 2 is this. So this turned into this. I have a bunch more of these upstairs as well that I'm going to want to spin up as well. I think this turned out to roughly a once I wash it, it'll probably bloom out to maybe a sports or a DK weight, so about an 8 ply-ish I think. And I do have a bunch more undyed fibres that I'm wanting to spin up, so I'm thinking maybe a colourwork sweater in these, but we'll see how it goes and how much. Look, I'm definitely going to have enough, but it's just getting around to actually spinning it is the whole thing. So a few weeks ago, Fibre Arts Shed actually came to our local spinners and weavers. So Juniper and I, she's my youngest, we decided to go and pop in and say hello and to meet them face to face, and which was just lovely to kind of, you know, put a face to the name and to have a chat about fibre. And they bought a bunch of fibre, bunch of yarn, and it was just lovely to go and actually, because I don't know about you, like you look online at fibre and at yarn and it looks gorgeous, but then you get it and it is scratchy and it's just not exactly what you thought. Especially with rustic fibres and rustic yarns, I find it can be a little bit hit and miss. So this one is Blue Faced Leicestershire and Silk, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to spin this up. So I grabbed that when they came to visit. I have 200 grams of this one. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that, but we'll see. I also grabbed another set of fibre, but that's upstairs, so I'm sure that I can show you that another day. The weekend before this, my youngest Junie, she was, at the time she was 3, but she came up and asked if she could learn how to spin. So we sat at the spinning wheel for a while and she learned how to draw the fibres, and she's obviously too small to actually pedal, but I was able to pedal for her while she sat on my lap, and she is learning how to spin now. So she was super excited and asked if she could buy some of her own special fibre while we were there. So these, definitely not the sort of fibre that I would pick. I'm undyed rustic yarns through and through, but my 4-year-old is not. So these are 2 that she chose. This one, I feel, yeah, this one is the Corriedale and one of their scrappy rovings, and this one is merino and silk. So this one is super soft, but I will definitely make her maybe a little beanie or something once she spins that up, because I'm sure it's going to be art yarn, we could say. So she picked those 2. In my basket as well, I have, this one is Black Shetland, and it's soft, it's still soft. It's a little bit more scratchy than some of the other ones, but it's still gorgeous. This is a Black Shetland. I don't know if you can, lots of different little colors through there, some flecks, again undyed, untouched. And this is undyed Corriedale. It has the same, so a few colors through it, a few grays, maybe blacks. Yeah, so that is also in my 2 spin basket. All this fibre again is from Fibre Arts Shed. Yeah, so I have a few others upstairs that are natural undyed, and yeah, so I'm just planning on spinning those up and seeing what I can kind of come up with, and yeah, so that will be interesting. So that's in my spin basket. I am working on getting through a bunch of fibre that I've gotten from friends. We're really lucky locally. There are a lot of farms. We are semi-rural, and we are a small community, so everybody knows everybody, and I guess everyone knows that I spin. People find out that I spin and that I process fibre. So I do get a lot of messages from people saying, hey, I've just shorn our sheep or our alpacas, would you like the fleece? So I've got, I think at the moment I've got 3 feed bags in my garage that I'm slowly working my way through. I've given 3 to my mum. As I said, she spins and she also processes her own yarn, she knits, so I'm guessing that this is genetic, so thanks mum. Yeah, so I've given those to her. She does have a drum carder on the way, which I'm going to be taking, probably stealing that at some point to try and get through some of the fibre. But yes, and then I've got another friend who's dropping off some more alpaca over the weekend, so I have a lot of fibre to get through. So this is some alpaca that I'm working on at the moment. These are my ASHFORD hand carders. So this is how we do the hand carding. It's back and forth, back and forth. I need to load that up a little bit more, but this basket is unwashed as well. So I would just sit outside in the grass with the kids in the afternoon while they're playing, and I would just pick bits out of the feed bag and I would just kind of card it in the grass. Yeah, so this is all unwashed, it's still dirty. I don't know if I'm going to spin it while it's still dirty or if I'm going to give it a wash, but I have been washing some as well. I do have very sensitive skin. I do get eczema on my hands, and at times I find that the dirty fibre does kind of irritate my skin a little bit, so I haven't touched the dirty fleece for a little bit. But yes, my hands are completely clear at the moment, which is wonderful, and the weather's warming up, so I probably will be back outside again, I think, doing some carding. Yes, so once you do all the hand carding, they turn into little, here it is a roll lag there somewhere, but you can just draw from there and away you go with your spinning. So this is alpaca. This came from a friend from a farm about 20 minutes away from me, which I absolutely love. I love when I have friends who have their own animals and they offer me their fleece and their fibre. I have another friend who has an Angora rabbit, and so it's wonderful. I have sheep, Angora and alpaca, and to know that it's come from not far from me is also really, really special. And to know that I've kind of been there, like I've been there for the whole process of it. Once it lands here, it's washed in my kitchen, sorry, not in my kitchen, don't do that, in my laundry tub or outside. It's spun on my spinning wheel here, and it's hand carded, and then I sit on my couch and I knit it into garments. So to know every step of the process, it's really, really special, I think. And yeah, it's nice to know where things have come from as well, in a world where everything is fast fashion, everything is fast, we want it now. To see how much time and effort goes into creating one garment it's humbling almost, isn't it? You know, so yeah, so this is some more that I've got. I've got another bag of alpaca that's a similar color to this. I've got this one, and I've got one in a caramelly beigey kind of a color. So I don't know what I'm going to make with that, but I do have a bunch of it. So maybe a few sweaters, but we'll see. So that is at the moment all of the fiber that I'm kind of working on. I did want to show my first ever skein of yarn that I spun though, because I feel like, again, it's very, very special. When you're learning a new craft or a new hobby, sometimes it can be frustrating and it can be a little bit harder, so you kind of give up, just like me with knitting. I tried probably over 10 years, maybe 5 or 6 times, and I just packed it in because it was just, my brain wasn't computing any of it. But I'm so glad that I kind of pursued with that, and I've taught myself how to do that now. And the same with spinning. This was the first ever skein that I spun, and it is lumpy and it's uneven and there are coils. It's overspun and completely unspun in sections, but I love it. And it's so wonderful to have this now to compare it to this one. I think I spun maybe 5 months ago. So that's probably 6 months worth of spinning difference. I've only been spinning for about maybe 12-13 months now, so it hasn't been a long time. I'm still a baby spinner, but just practicing constantly, and that's one that I have plied, which this is just so, this is a BENDIGO Woolen Mills fleece as well. I think they sell them, I think it's a 1 kilo lot that they sell them, and they're around $60. There are a few different colors. This one is the linen colorway. Yeah, so just the differences between where I started to where I am at the moment is, and in such a short amount of time as well, because I do have a lot of people asking for tips and, you know, asking where do I start. And I think the biggest thing that I can say is just to start, because there's no one technique of spinning. The same with knitting. I knit continentally, so I hold my yarn in this hand and I don't flip it over. And I think that's because I learned how to crochet first, so that just feels natural to me. And it's the same with spinning. Everyone's going to feel different in the way that they spin. Their spinning wheel is going to be different as well. I have an ASHFORD Traveller. This one I got second hand, again locally to me, and it's a single pedal, and it's beautiful. It's quiet, but it has that click and it has that kind of a hum, which is just so soothing. So that is my spinning wheel, and again, your spinning wheel is going to be totally different, and it's going to feel different, and what feels natural to you is going to work. So finding the rhythm of drawing and pedaling as well, it's just practicing and practicing and practicing. So I would definitely recommend, I bought myself some of just the plain white BENDIGO fleece again, because it's all been cut, it's ready to spin, so it's really, really easy to do. And yeah, I practiced and practiced and practiced, and I got the hang of it. So I will be doing another video purely on spinning, because I've had so many people asking me to do that. And I will include maybe preparing some fiber. I think would be really, really good too. So that's also, I'm going to do a full video of that. So yes, so that is, I dyed this one with avocado skins and pits as well. So yes, keep your first skein, keep it, put it away, and in 6 months time, in 3 months time, compare it to where you're at now. And just keep going, keep practicing. It doesn't matter if it looks lumpy, it's art yarn and it's a memory. So yes, so that's what I have as far as fiber goes at the moment. I do have a few things. I finished off sewing this the other week as well. This is just a little pocket, I don't know, sewing thing. I'm going to put my knitting needles in here for when we go to Melbourne as well. I can just chuck this into my project bags. This this linen and this linen is hand dyed, as well as the felt. And I just quilted this. It's a bit uneven, but look, I love it. Yeah, so I made that to take to Melbourne to keep my knitting needles and everything safe. So that I just self-drafted that. It's super simple. I just cut out a few bits and winged it. So that is one thing that I've finished sewing. As I said, I've been studying, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to actually be crafting this year. But I did grab some fabric from Spotlight the other day to make some dresses for my two youngest girls. Our third one, Gertie, she is a redhead. She's a redhead through and through. She's a redhead. So I find it really hard for her to find clothes that really look nice on her and colors that look nice on her, because the fluoros and all of those, they don't suit her very well, unfortunately. So I grabbed this one for her, which I think is going to look gorgeous, and this one is for Juniper. They chose a pattern each from Oh Me Oh My, I think it is, on Instagram. They have kids clothing patterns, so they've chosen a pattern each, so I'm going to make them those dresses. Again, I'm hoping to make them before we go to Melbourne. Yeah, so that is on my to make list very soon. Maybe over the weekend I might pull the sewing machine out and do those. Yeah, so that is my sewing at the moment. And I also, at the moment, I'm wearing the McCall's 7969. I had to write it down. 7969. And it's very cute little puff sleeves here. Yeah, so this is McCall's 7969, and I love this pattern. This is the smaller size that it comes in, and it is still very, very roomy. So, and the puff sleeves, which I love. This is, I think, the third or the fourth one I've made of these, but I have gone down a few sizes recently, so I'm kind of redoing my whole wardrobe. I am wanting to make, I did have these from the op shop the other week. So I'm thinking these could be really, really cute in this pattern as well. This is super bright. I don't know if I'm game enough to wear it, but I'm wanting, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe. It is very cute though. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm going to make another one of these dresses to take with us. I do have a few shawls and boots that I can wear as well, because I was planning on it being warm while we were away, and I'm having to rethink a bunch of things. So yeah, this I think would be really, really cute. There is another dress, it's called the Capulet dress. I'm not sure, it's on Instagram. If you search the hashtag, I'm 100% sure you will find the maker. The Capulet dress is another dress that's on my list of things to make as well. So I'm thinking this would actually look really, really cute in that pattern. So yeah, I will see. I have a few other ones that I have lying around, some old bed sheets, because these are both old bed sheets. Again, I love upcycling, so, and that is the other thing that I have there. And I think that that's all that I have for today. So I am about to go op shopping again with Juniper, and we're going to spend the day outside because it is lovely and warm. And yes, so if you have any recommendations on yarn or fabric or craft shops in Melbourne, I would be so grateful for your recommendations, because I can't come home empty-handed at all. So any recommendations would be wonderful. But thank you so much for hanging out with me for this little bit of time. And if you have any suggestions on things you would like to see, or things that you would like to see me making, yeah, let me know, because I'm open. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.